What's up guys, welcome to Supercars of London, and as you can see behind me I have my knight in satin nardo grey armour behind me. I hope you all enjoyed the movie that I uploaded on Sunday, and then also the stresses of behind the scenes of when technology goes wrong and you're uploading a video to YouTube. As you can see, I've got my absolute dream machine behind me. What an insane car, and it was fantastic to learn so much about it over the 2 weeks of me being in Europe. This video is going to break down some of the running costs. I think it was arguably the most asked question since I returned. How much did the trip cost? Where did I spend my money? And how well did this car perform on fuel, running costs, tyres, brakes and everything like that. So this video is definitely going to break that down for you. If you're looking to do something similar, it will also give you an idea on how much things cost. So to begin with, let's talk about where the money was spent. Number one, a lot of it was spent on fuel. And then of course, number two, it was a lot on hotels. We stayed the night in Grenoble, Lake Como, Austria and Cologne twice before driving home. And then there's also all of the mini little bits that you pay for as well, like the ferry over, then the Eurotunnel going back, food and drink every day, parking during the night, and then out in Monaco, every single day I drove the car down to Top Marks and I parked in either the casino car park or one of the other car parks like Grimaldi or things like that. But the thing is, with Monaco compared to London, parking is so cheap and also so easy. In Monaco, it was around €6 to €7 for the whole day of car parking, whereas in London, £6–7 an hour. So huge difference in terms of parking costs. And one of the fantastic things that we had in our favour was also how weak the euro was to the pound, which is fantastic. To start things off, let's talk about how much this car costs to fill up to the max, so that when I tell you how many fuel stops I did, it's very easy to work out. This car costs around, on average, £90 to fill up. It's approximately an 80–85 litre tank. And at the moment, prices of fuel are around 1.12, 1.13 here in Watford, but across Europe they were very sort of similar at the 120 euros, which is a fantastic cost for the car. And let's start on where I filled the car up. So I started in Watford. I filled it all the way to the brim because I did the GAD tuning challenge down to Lyon. Unfortunately, I didn't make it, so we've refilled just outside Lyon, which is tank number 2. Tank number 3 came just before Monaco. I could have made it from Lyon to Monaco in one tank, but I thought that because I was going to be driving this car around, I just wanted to get the refill out the way. So tank number 3 came just outside of Monaco. I didn't fill up during the whole week of Top Marks, which again, huge praise to the insane V8 that GAD tuning have magically turned into a Prius, but it still sounds like a V8. And then we filled up on the morning of leaving Monaco. And then what you saw from the movie, I filled up just outside of Grenoble on day 2. I then filled up after Lake Como, and then again in Liechtenstein, and then twice in Cologne on both nights that I stayed there. So I only filled up, how many times is that? 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times? 6 times of fuel, does that work out right? So we've covered fuel, and in this car it is insane. And by all means, if you're going to be doing a road trip in a car that's got a slightly smaller engine, then you can start cutting costs in terms of fuel. But then if you're doing it in anything bigger, like a Murcielago LP640 that someone might do in the near future, I don't know who that could be, then you're looking at even steeper fuel costs. A lot steeper. Let's move on to hotels, because we stayed the night in Grenoble, Lake Como, Austria, and then Cologne twice, if that makes sense, 5 nights. And I've worked out on average that the hotel cost was around 100, 110. We stayed in fantastic hotels. Tim Schmee 150 organised all of the hotels, and they were all 4-star. My favourite was Cologne. We stayed 2 nights in Cologne, and it was just a fantastic looking building. But we worked out about 100, 110 pounds per night, and that was for 2 people in the room. So it wasn't too bad. It was fairly reasonable. It was also around 20 euros, about 15 quid per night to keep the car in a secure car park, the hotel car park, which wasn't too bad. And then dinner was around 40 to 50 euros per night. It was nothing expensive or extravagant. I think everyone there just wanted to spend all of their money on fuel and have a fantastic driving holiday. And then when we were just resting, it was all a case of just getting the biggest, most filling meal possible: pizza, pasta, burgers, whatever it was. Perfect, ideal menu for me, being a sort of a McDonald's fiend. So we've done fuel, we've done hotels. Now we're going to get down to the really, really annoying costs that I think are just generic when it comes to European driving. I had to pay for tolls in France, which cost around 120 euros, which is about one more full tank. And then when we were in Switzerland and Austria, you also have to have these motorway tax sticker things, which cost around 40 Swiss currency CHFs. And then the Austrian one was around 45 euros. And I actually think Tim paid for that, so I owe him money. But when you're driving in Europe and you're driving on the motorways out there, there's more tolls than there are in England, which I suppose I'm not used to because I drive all the time in England. But it was just another cost that was just not welcome. Costs, the ferry was around £55. And the Channel Tunnel was just under 100 quid. So now we move on to the sort of foods, the generic parking costs, and I took out 500 euros cash with me, which was just going to cover the parking costs in Monaco, and also just using cash for things like lunch, dinner, whilst I was out there, for top marks and anything that I wanted to buy whilst I was out there. The 500 euros lasted about a week and a half on food, parking and things like that, mostly on food, because as I mentioned, parking was relatively cheap. So overall, I had a fantastic trip. I spent just under £2,000, and that was really based on that 2 weeks. There was two people, myself and my girlfriend. You may have seen her in the wing mirror of the movie. A lot of people have spotted her. So when you start splitting that times two, like I said, if you've got a less thirsty car than this, you can do a fantastic 2-week Euro road trip for something very, very reasonable. And if you're sort of driving a petrol head, then 1,500 quid, 1,500 quid, £2,000 split down the middle is actually a very, very cheap 2-week holiday. And like the weather that we got in Monaco, Lake Como and the south of France was just amazing, between 23 and 27 degrees on every single day. And it was only when we started getting closer to the UK, as you saw in the movie, that the weather started getting a lot worse. So this car has massively outperformed my expectations of what it was going to be. The Quattro system is insane. I feel like I would love to do a car review out in the French hills or the Italian hills or wherever it is, and I'm fingers crossed going to be going back to Monaco very, very soon, and not in this car either. So whatever car I'm able to take, it will really be interesting to do a review about what it's like to drive a real car in real roads, because here in England I've just realised that you can't take cars to the limit. You can't even take them to 30% of what they're capable of doing. This is by all means not the last time that I'm going to be doing a road trip, and I think I've got it in my head that I would love to do one every 2 months. Would be absolutely fantastic. So that's definitely a plan of mine, and I'm going to get sort of planning and putting those plans into actions as well, so I can create some really, really cool content for you, not just in England, not just with this car, and then at the end of it all create another movie. And I just would love to do that for YouTube. I think that would be the dream, the absolute dream. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and sort of I've summarized what the costs are in general. If you've got any questions, or if you've got any more sort of hidden costs that I've forgotten about, then please let me know. First things first, I didn't go into the casino and spend my own money, so there wasn't any costs there. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed this whole sort of, I think it's turned into a sort of a month experience on Supercars of London, the amount of videos that I've done. Let me know what your favourite video is from all time from the Monaco Top Marks 2015, and where would you like to see me drive next on YouTube, whether it's in this car, or pick a car, pick your dream road trip that you'd love to see on Supercars of London. What car, where you want me to see me to drive to, what videos you want me to do, and everything like that. So I really look forward to these comments, and I will be checking back on YouTube very, very soon. This week I'm going to be doing an upload of an update of what's going on the Supercars of London channel over the next sort of 2 weeks or so. I'm starting to feel out of breath now. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe if you don't, for so much more cool content to come. Oh God, I'm cocking up the outro. I will see you very, very soon. Take care, guys. Before I go, there might be a question on where I stayed in Monaco, and for those that follow me on Twitter and Instagram, you would have seen that I stayed with Seb Delaney. I'd like to thank him and his parents for the amazing hospitality over the week whilst we stayed there for top marks, a place for the car to rest, and also just a fantastic atmosphere. I had a lot of fun there, and I look forward to many more trips down to the south of France very, very soon. And yeah, make sure that you check out Seb Delaney on YouTube, which he's also got his daily vlog channel, which is Seb Daily, Sam, Seen Through Glass, and also Tim Schmee 150 for more insane content from the Euro road trip. And I'm sure we're going to be doing a lot of fantastic collaborations to come. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to get jumping back into my car, cruising back, editing this video up, and I will see you soon. Cheers.